wonderful NUB family. I am coming to you from school. I'm still in school, so unfortunately I can't be with you here at this annual conference, but I just wanted to send you some updates about CRT and what our wonderful team has done this year in the conference. And so here's a short presentation. Thank you so much for listening.
Church Revitalization Team Report 23-24. We're going to share the information from this last year, some updates, and so first of all, our team this last year consisted of Benga, Henry, Bubba, Kathy, Superintendent Mark, and myself. 7 churches were on their turn in the type process, the 3-year planning engagement, and so 2 participated because 5 churches opted out. There's 3 exceptions for opting out, or there's 3 ways that you can opt out. If you've experienced 5% growth or more in the previous 2 years, you can opt out. If your church and its leaders do not speak English as a first language, although a lot of the materials we offer are in Spanish, but you are able to opt out as well. And then if you're a church plant, you don't participate. The 5 churches opted out due to one of the criteria above, or multiple. West Coast San Mateo, God's Family Sacramento, Foothills Oakdale, Casa de Barro San Francisco, and Foothill Community Church in Orville. The 2 churches that did participate were Emmanuelu San Lorenzo and Oasis Pleasant Hill. And at those churches, there were several reports made by the CRT team. Some windshield surveys. That's when we drive around, take a look at the neighborhood and try to gather some just quick eyeball data from what we see as we drive around the neighborhood. Then worship service evaluation. Our team members come and evaluate the worship service on a bunch of different criteria and make suggestions from that. We also made facility review reports where we would go around the facilities, look for cleanliness, look for, updated facilities, what to work on there, or what's wonderful there. And then the communication reviews. Those are based on like your internet presence, your social media presence, your phone, how you respond to the phone, and then there's a series of reports that are given by the church themselves and the leaders themselves. There's local church data form, pastor profile. Pastors kind of evaluate themselves a little bit, or a little bit introspective in those pastor profiles. Lay leader profiles. Lay leaders take a look at the church and dig in a little self-reflection. And then the NCD, Natural Church Development Survey. This is a super, super valuable tool, and it kind of gives you a glimpse into your church and your ministry from the perspective of 30 or 40 bought-in members, stakeholders in the church. And it's a really, really good tool that the conference helps coordinate. So next year's churches on the docket: Corralitos Community, Oasis Living Water San Jose, Fernley FMC, Oak Avenue in Orangevale, John Wesley Fijian in Sacramento, Oakland Puerta del Cielo, and Kaleidoscope Grass Valley. So those are the churches on the docket. If you meet one of those 3 criteria, you are able to opt out. However, I will say we think our tools are really valuable learning tools to kind of have some self-reflection. And so we think that it's valuable for churches that have experienced growth to go through the process anyway, because there's just lots of good stuff there. But if you choose to opt out, you can, if you meet one of those 3 criteria. Otherwise, we would love to send a team to you to visit, and we can work through the process starting in early fall. And so that's kind of leads into the schedule. September through November, data is collected from the pastors' boards and NCD congregational survey and the church visits evaluations from CRT. We would really like to get that process started earlier this year. We found that it's been later and later each year, and the further it gets into the holidays, the harder it is for everyone. So if we could start in, even in September, even in August, really. I plan to try to meet via Zoom as soon as August with the pastors to kind of let you know what's going on. The team will be meeting even before then, in late June and July. So, yeah, if we can get the ball rolling before the holidays, I think that would be really helpful for everybody. And then in November, December, Superintendent Mark and I and maybe a couple other people will go through, generate some discovery reports, and then either Mark or I or both will present the discovery reports to the church boards and the leadership teams of the local churches. And so that's kind of the process for type when it's your turn. And so if it's your turn, that's kind of what's going to be on the docket for this year. I'll be reaching out this summer with a lot more details. And like I said, we'll be reaching out to support you. Ultimately, this is a process to support you in your ministry, and it's a time for self-reflection. In my professional job as a music teacher, I'm self-reflecting every day, and I know you do as well. But sometimes I don't add a lot of formality to it, and I don't write a lot of things down, and I don't look at a lot of data. And so I think that it's something for me to remind myself to do as well, of just going, there are tools out there for us as professionals and people who are ultimately in the people business, that we can also add some data and some qualitative type of information to our jobs so that we can love people better and we can have important conversations more often and we can lead people to the Lord and to a relationship with Jesus, because that ultimately is what we're in the business of doing. And so anyway, feel free to contact me. My email is mattmanera, just like my name, @gmail.com, and I'll be reaching out to you shortly as well.
Just want to say one more time that the Church Revitalization Team is here to support you. So please let us know how we can support you in your ministry, and blessings, and have a great upcoming year.